Hello guys, my name is MOGANAKUMARAN. My register number is 01DDT20F1087, and now I'm gonna present about case study 2. So let me start with the problems which this world is facing regarding energy. So the first problem is wastage of energy in buildings. So when I give some explanation for it, so which is it is a consumption of electricity, water, gas, and when that not performs any useful actions in buildings. And then the second problem we are commonly facing is how to eliminate uh, wastage of energy in street lights due to manual controlling of these lights. So the explanation are the street lighting is one of the major components in total energy consumption in cities. The paper is focused on a concept of street lamp controlling systems and function organization with remote monitoring to reduce maintenance cost and energy consumption. Then the next slide is about problem statement and how to solve it. So the problem statement is how to reduce light energy consumption in a regular home. So these are the explanation on how to solve it with IoT. So okay, let me start. The devices requires a connection to the Wi-Fi, which allows the sensors to work with the smart light. The sensors will send a signal to the smart light to turn on and off. The light travels in the room will be detected, and if it reaches a certain threshold, the lights will turn either on or off. And then the next point is this option can be turned on off, making it more versatile for the customer. And then the last point on how to solve it is using LED bulbs will allow more light to be shined in the room, making it look it's like daytime on the inside with the lower cost of bills. Then these are the equipment list for our prototype. So we bought a keypad which cost around RM3, and then Arduino Uno R3 which cost around RM35, and then LED light which is around RM1, and then resistors which is RM2, and then photo sensors for our prototype which cost around RM3. Okay, and now the next slide will be explained by my friend Dinesh. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Dinesharajan Naidu, and this is our IoT prototype for case study 2. Now, as you can see by the pic, this is our project. So we have used the keypad to input the certain brightness threshold that you would like based on the user, and the photo sensor will detect the brightness and compare it, and the code will compare the brightness detected by the photo sensor and the threshold and determine whether or not the LED will turn on or off. Alright, let's take a look at some of the code. Now this is the C++ code that I have created for this photos ambient light sensor. So now what it is, this code right here is to initialize the keypad. So there's four rows and 4 columns, and this is to initialize each digit in the keypad. So digit and letter. So 1 to 9, and then 0 to 9, and also the star sign, and also a hashtag, and also ABCD. And this is arranged so that it follows a column and row based on the keypad. And this is to initialize the pins for the keypad. So each row and each column has its own pin, and this is the if I'm not mistaken, the function to detect the keypad's input. Alright, so next up, this is to initialize this brightness level. is to store the integer for the brightness threshold. So whatever input that is received from the keypad will be stored in here. And yeah, first it will ask to enter the light brightness threshold. Alright, so this function right here, void light control, is used to determine whether or not the light should be turned on and off based on the brightness level of the environment. So once you've entered the string value, so the keypad detects enters each digit, each input as a character, and then we add that into a string variable. So bright level is the string variable, and it basically stacks on top of each other. So let's say I enter 1, then brightness level will have a 1, and then next to it will have a 2. So it will become like 1, 2, based on the inputs that you have entered to the keypad, and this will become a string data type, and it will store the code, the brightness threshold in the variable. Then later we will convert that string value to an integer value so that it can be used to use the input from the photo sensor to compare it with the brightness level threshold. And let's say the sensor detects that the room brightness is below the threshold, it will turn on the lights. If it's above the threshold, it will turn off the lights. So basically, if it's above the threshold, it's very bright. If it's below the threshold, it's very dark. And yeah, that's basically it. And to make it easier on the eyes for the user, I've set up a print line, a print to print out the characters of the keypad that have been entered. So this will print out the characters so that you can see that what brightness level you have inputted. And next up, I will show how I will demonstrate the IoT project through Tinkercad. Alright, so now I will be demonstrating the IoT prototype for case study 2. So now I'm just going to do a demonstration on how it works. So first off, as you can see, this is the code. This is the same exact code as I've shown previously. And now I will just start running the simulation. And we're going to use the serial monitor right here to check whether or not our code is working. And as you can see, our code is working. It's asking me for the brightness threshold. So I'm just going to put it at the middle line, so it's 150. So once you have entered the 3 digits, it will start reiterating the brightness level of the photo sensor, the surrounding, and the light status. So let's say I increase the brightness level of the environment. So the photo sensor is detecting like more light in the environment, but just not enough to go over the threshold. So 140, the LED is still on. The lights are still on. So let's say I just go over the threshold, and as you can see, the light has turned off because the surrounding environment is bright enough that you do not need lights for it to be turned on. So basically that's it. Thank you. Thank you so much for sticking around watching this presentation. I hope this has helped you learn something about Internet of Things, and I think this subject is a very interesting subject that has a lot of applications in the future. And yeah, I would like to pursue it. Thank you.